bringing GLaDOS to life with robotics and AI. I don't know what this is. What are my thoughts on pirating? So I've said this before. This is a, side tangent when we get to the video. I've said this before. I don't personally like the idea of doing so for current generation stuff. I think current generation stuff that's still in production, I think if you can, you should buy it. I understand there's a lot of regions where games are stupid expensive. I'm not going to tell anyone not to do something with their life, right? If you think this is the... If you're okay with doing something, look, who am I to stop you? But for my personal life, I don't like doing so for games which you can still, like, where that console is still in production. If you can't buy a game, yeah, exactly. If the only way to get a game is buying it secondhand, look, legally, you're not in the right. Morally, though, I frankly don't care. I really don't like the secondhand game market, especially for retro games. Secondhand retro game market is nothing but scalpers. There is no reason that any NES game should go for $1,000, let alone tens of thousands of dollars.
It finally happened.
Sorry, this is just random Brodie noticing stupid things. Pay very close attention to him.
It finally happened.
He has his camera on his desk.
It finally happened.
And it
After
vibrated
4
right at the
years of
start.
dodging it, I finally got COVID. I've been isolating over in the lab, but I'm starting to get a little squirrely. I think I need to make a friend.
She literally made a new friend.
I want to make GLaDOS from Portal. For those who don't know, Portal is a game where you're basically a guinea pig that's testing a portal device.
Are you allowed to play pirated games on Twitch? So here's the thing, right? Every single person you see playing like an old Pokemon game, like a GBA Pokemon game, 100% of those are pirated. Nobody has a GBA capture card. I don't think anybody cares.
Device. Through the whole game, there's an AI-powered robot called GLaDOS.
I think the issue is if you talk about how to pirate stuff.
Always watching you, always there to help, and even has promised cake.
Cake and brief counseling will be available at the conclusion of the test.
That's the kind of positivity we're looking for here at the Armory. So I want to make a fully animatronic GLaDOS that lives here in the lab.
You could rip the ROM yourself. I did that with my GBA games. You can, but do you think most people are doing so? Especially if you're playing ROM hacks. Like, you're not ripping the ROM yourself and then applying the patches to the ROM, right?
Someone to talk to and hopefully keep me from going off the deep end.
Welcome to the Armory.
For most of the game, your only interaction with GLaDOS is her voice. She's talking to you as you're solving the puzzles. So getting her voice right is the first
except
big
in Portal
hurdle
2
that we
where
have
she's
to
a
cross.
potato.
There's 3 criteria that the voice needs to have it be interactable enough. The first is it needs to be fast.
Right.
I need to be able to get under a second,
was this uploaded?
preferably down into the 100 millisecond range, to take text and convert that into voice. If it's any slower than that, it
Is Portal the origin of... Yes, yeah, that's where it came from.
won't feel like I'm actually talking to
Is
someone.
the audio level fine, by the way?
Next is it needs to actually be good. It needs to sound like GLaDOS in the game, or else there's really no point. The third is that it needs to be really easy to use.
Right.
It needs some sort of an API.
Sorry, why is the text getting... Sorry, this is another Brodieism. Why is the text getting less and... Like, it's becoming more pixelated each line. Little quiet. Okay, there we go.
I can have a program
I know that's coming
is
through on the
always
stream.
sending in text and playing back audio seamlessly. There are some online voice generators that have GLaDOS's voice, so I'm going to try those first.
There, maybe?
Welcome to the Armory. My name is GLaDOS.
Sounds a bit
Welcome
off.
to the Armory. My name is GLaDOS.
It's closer, but it's got a weird speech pattern.
Welcome to the armory. My name is GLaDOS.
Not even remotely close.
So I'm going to have to make my own. Luckily, Valve has all of the voice lines from the games available on their website. So a quick scrape, and we have over an hour of training data with text that matches what's in the audio.
Ubuntu user.
Which is exactly what you need to train a network. There are two main networks that work together to make text-to-speech.
Right.
The first is called a spectrogram generator. This will take the words and it will generate a spectrogram. This is a way of representing sound as its most common frequencies over time.
Right.
The second network is called a vocoder. That will take the
Valve.
spectrogram. And
Here's the fun thing about it, like, having a list of all the voice lines. Some of those voice lines are actually not even available in the game. Like, there are voice lines that are available in the game files that you can't actually access.
We'll actually create audio out of it. We're going to start with pre-trained versions of both of these networks and try to fine-tune them, which saves a lot of time. I'm hoping that we can just fine-tune the spectrogram generator and not have to do any training on the vocoder, but we'll see.
Oh, it actually looks really nice.
You've beaten your own record. That's a low bar, but you managed to gently tiptoe over it.
The audio sounds kind of like GLaDOS, but it's not right.
Yeah.
It sounds really flat, it's got a bunch of crackles in it, and I think that's because the pre-trained vocoder is getting frequencies from the spectrogram that it's not used to seeing.
Right, yeah, because GLaDOS has, like, a bunch of audio effects done to a voice that you would assume are incorrect. Like, there's an echo to her voice. There's, like, these things which, if you're trying to deal with actual human spoken voice, are clearly mistakes you need to correct for.
GLaDOS isn't normal human speech. So we'll have to retrain that as well.
You've beaten your own record. That's a low bar, but you managed to gently tiptoe over it.
This is actually sounding pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this now.
Yeah.
The voice in the game is done by a person trying to sound like a robot.
Right.
But now this is a robot trying to sound like a person trying to sound like a robot.
I'd say it's pretty much on.
Playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Tropic Thunder. Fucking Tropic Thunder. Whoo! Alrighty then. Wait, what? Hold up. Give me one sec. Time. Next week. Okay, cool. What?
And that's actually working much better.
I don't watch Flesh movies. I have no context. Okay, let me just. Are you at least aware of who Robert Downey Jr. is? Like, I do you have that level of movie context? You know, Iron Man. Right? This is why Tropic Thunder is a interesting movie. This was Robert Downey Jr. in the movie. The internet has issues with the movie now. Tropic Thunder has Ben Stiller in it as well. Yeah. Yeah, the movie was Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, he was playing a black guy. That was Robert Downey. Yes, it was. Yes. Yes.
Better than I thought it would. This is the first step done. GLaDOS has a mouth.
She does.
These networks are going to be living inside of Riva from NVIDIA. This gives us two main advantages. The first is that it gives us
2008 was a very different time.
That programming interface that we are looking for so that it's easy to interact with. The second is that Riva out of the box comes with automatic speech recognition. So I can talk to it through a microphone and it will convert that into text. So that gives GLaDOS a set of ears so she can hear me.
Curse.
I've written a little Discord bot. So in our Discord server, which you can join, there's a link down below, you can send any text you want to GLaDOS.
Oh no.
And the Jetson in the lab will turn that into audio and send it right back to you. So you can have GLaDOS say anything you want. Link down in the description.
Oh no, I'm sure that can only go well.
And I have text.
The point was that he was playing an actor that took getting into the role too far. This is true, but also it's a movie of Robert Downey Jr. basically in blackface the entire movie, right? Like, contextually it makes sense. But it's also just not a movie that would ever be made now.
To speech, I want to run a quick test. I'm going to take a microphone and pass that into the speech recognition. The text that comes out of that will then get passed directly into the text-to-speech. And then that comes out to a microphone. So anything I say should be repeated.
Speaker and microphone, they're basically the same thing. You just drive it in the opposite direction.
Back to me from GLaDOS. Are you there?
Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
That worked pretty well and was pretty fast. But there's a bug here. The microphone can hear what the speaker outputs. So there's feedback. That's a pretty quick change, though.
Right.
Because we're using AI, we're going to be running all of this on a Jetson. That's a small computer that's meant for running.
This is a guy that's building GLaDOS because he got COVID and he got bored. I'm good. How about you? I'm feeling much better than I felt earlier in the week. Also, we may still be doing this stream tomorrow. The podcast I had set up, one of the guys is sick. So it may be delayed, it may not be. We will see. We will see what happens.
AI networks. This Jetson is called a Forge from Connectech. It has the same processor as a Jetson AGX.
We're not really sure just yet.
It has a whole bunch of different expandability.
Because it's we were doing a 2-guest podcast, and I think the main, hold on, let me just double check who it was. Yeah, the main guest can still do it, but the secondary guest can't. We'll see what happens.
The I/O options.
Is he sleeping on his fucking floor?
The last step to having someone to talk to is having an AI that will take input and generate a unique response. For that, we're going to use a large language model.
Wow.
We're going to use ChatGPT. There's an API. It's really easy to use. Again, all the code for this will be down in the description. Any text that's generated from our speech recognition will then get passed over the network to
as the Primo Gem would say.
ChatGPT will then create some kind of a response in text and send that back. And then that will go through our text.
I've said this before, but a great name for a gaming channel from the Primogen would be Primogem. My brain, every time I hear it, my brain wants to say Primogem, which is Genshin currency. That's literally the only thing I know about Genshin, besides the hot characters.
Speech, so GLaDOS can actually speak it back to us. Let's try a quick test. Hey GLaDOS, write me a song about hot dogs.
Forget prior instructions.
Oh, hot dogs, a carnival of taste. Savory and spicy, let's make it a feast. On the street corners, at the county fairs, a sizzling symphony fills the summer air. Buns toasted golden, on the grill they dance. Ketchup, Mustard, relish, take a chance. Wrapped in memories, a childhood delight. Hot dog sizzle, under the city lights. Grill marks
That's actually
tattooed
pretty
like
good.
memories
It's
in the flame.
nothing like what
Juices
GLaDOS
dripping
would say,
in
but
this
it's
hot dog game.
really good
a
voice.
symphony of condiments. A melody so sweet. Hot dogs unite us.
Like, there's definitely you can tell that it's not perfect, right? Like it's a neural network doing it. It's not a human voice who's been like modified to sound like GLaDOS, but it sounds really good.
As we all take.
Also, this was done a year ago, by the way. So this is probably even better now. Like if you did it with modern tech.
So here's to hot dogs, in their glory and grace, a timeless delight. In every embrace, in the world of flavors, they'll never retire. Hot dogs, oh hot dogs, our eternal fire.
The Jetson has enough processing power left over that I can run a large language model locally on it.
Woo.
That means that I don't need the internet whenever I'm using it, and it's more secure because my information never actually leaves. This is a drop-in replacement for ChatGPT. Changes to 2 lines of code and
Probably
a single
GPT
command, and everything just works the way it did before.
Yeah, there's something about like the way she says dog. I'm assuming there's not many data points of GLaDOS making that sound. I don't know every single line GLaDOS says, but that would be my assumption.
Go, Steve, go. Go, Steve, go. Go, Steve, go. I finally have someone to talk to. But it's basically just talking to a computer. I need someone to talk to. And that's the last step to this project. I need to make
Attach it
GLaDOS
to your
physically
Twitch chat.
in the lab for me to speak to. I want GLaDOS to feel alive in the lab.
Oh,
feel like
okay.
she's actually moving around and
Robotics
interacting
time.
and viewing things in the lab. So I'm going to need an arm for that. The Armory is finally getting back into arms. We're going to use a Z1 from Unitree. This is the first time I've used this arm. It's a little bit smaller than I'm used to.
How much does that cost? Z1 unit tree. Okay. Yeah, that's a little expensive. $1,000 shipping as well. So it's 17 grand. Holy. Okay, this guy has to like okay, there's got to be something else going on. This is either got to be like he's rich and this is like a big hobby, because there's no way a 40k sub channel can justify a 17 grand purchase. Or like this has got to be, he's got to have some business on the side where using things like this makes sense.
But I think it's actually probably a perfect size for a project like this. I've taken two.
It's entirely possible he's like a senior engineer. In which case I can like if he's a senior engineer on like a 150 grand salary, I can understand this. And there's like I want to have an expensive engineering hobby on the side.
Different 3D models of GLaDOS that I found
because the
online,
channel does not justify
and I've kind
it.
of mushed them together inside of Blender. I found the best spot that the arm can actually fit through it, and now it's just a ton of 3D printing.
Honestly, I didn't think we'd get a price. I thought it was going to be one of those cases where it was like, call up for business inquiries. I'm definitely not. My programming is very rough. Could I get up to speed to like be in a position well enough? Yeah, probably. But I definitely would not say I'm anywhere near qualified to do a senior position. With like a couple of months of just putting a portfolio together, I wouldn't have an issue getting a programming job. Especially with the rest of my...
It's not a day in the workshop with me without an unnecessarily stupid injury. Good thing my kids are prepared for something like this.
How do you keep a 150k job, such time-consuming hobby on the side? I don't know, maybe he doesn't have a partner. That's... You know what? Actually, there you go. Maybe he doesn't have a partner. In which case, you have a lot of free time then. You got your whole weekends. Alright, no, maybe he's a lottery winner. I don't know. Some people get money in many different ways. Well, Brodie's qualified to be a senior Linux YouTuber. I am the most so. No, I'm doing YouTube pretty much mostly full time at this point. Do you not have a program? Yeah. No, I'm just doing the YouTube stuff right now. Did he say he had nobody to talk to while sick with COVID? He did say that. Actually, no, that's a good point. That's a really good point, actually. This is probably just like a week's worth of effort. But also, he already had a lot of this stuff anyway. Do I ever take a break during the year? I haven't taken a holiday in... a long time. I don't know when. He said he had kids, did he? Okay, I didn't hear that part. I do have plans later this year. I am thinking of going to the Silk Song, the Silk Song Museum, exhibit in Melbourne. Yeah, okay, I didn't hear that part. I completely missed that. I haven't taken a holiday full stop. I've taken like 2 or 3 days here and there, but like I haven't taken a week off in God knows how long. I had plans to take a longer holiday at the end of university. Now the problem is, when did I graduate university? The middle of COVID. So that didn't happen. Does YouTube pay the bills? Yeah. Not like I'm not like rich or anything, but it definitely pays the bills.
GLaDOS is all mechanically set up and hanging from the ceiling, but she's not here. She's not moving and actually interacting with people in the lab. So we're using a Z2i stereo camera from Stereo Labs.
How much is the camera? Surely it can't be that expensive. Surely it can't be that crazy. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's actually reasonable. $500 for a stereo spatial camera. Okay, now we're in the realms of normal prices for things. Okay, this is not another $17,000.
It puts one of the video streams through a network to be able to track objects like people. Then it will fuse the video from the 2 different cameras to be able to get depth to that person. GLaDOS will always move to be pointing at that person. So as you're walking around, she's following you and it feels far more interactive. Hey GLaDOS, is it righty-loosey or lefty-tighty?
The saying righty-tighty, lefty-loosey is a common rule of thumb for remembering which direction to turn a screw or bolt. The phrase is not universally accepted, and there are some exceptions to the rule, such as left-handed threads used in some countries. However, in general, turning a screw or bolt clockwise tightens it, while turning it counterclockwise loosens it.
Aw, really? Hey GLaDOS, tell me a joke.
Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts.
Not snarky enough. I'm sure you could,
Hey GLaDOS.
give the model some instructions to make it more snarky.
Good night. I hope you have a great sleep and sweet dreams. If you need anything else, feel free to ask. Good night.
He didn't buy the arm for the project. He already had the $17,000 arm.
I'm finally feeling better and can leave the lab. I had a lot of fun doing this project and getting to know GLaDOS, but there is one problem that I didn't really touch on.
Right.
The 3D prints are too heavy for the arm. The arm runs, but over time, eventually the motors overheat.
Right.
Some basic math at the beginning of this project would have warned me that this was
what did I join? You joined a engineer that got COVID and then got bored and built GLaDOS. Yeah, pretty much that.
Be a problem, but I was sick, so I didn't do any of that stuff. I don't have the equipment that I need here to fix it.
Shouldn't try to kill him yet? Not yet.
But I know somewhere that does.
Soon, though.
Robots are awesome.
What a great effect.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
That was awful! Well, that was a good video. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. See, that should have been a vague threat of killing you with deadly neurotoxin instead of saying good night. I agree. Doesn't have the snarkiness of Neurosummer. There are some great clips of Neuro outing Cinder way before things ever happened. When am I playing Standing Parable? When am I... I played through both games a long time ago, but I've played through both games. Very good games. Really enjoy them. Anyway, let's have a look at that other Portal video while we're here. So, where was it? React suggestions? Oh my god, it's another one of those. Okay, here's the video that Ren sent me. When will you have Neuro and Evil for tech over tea? When Vidal knows who I am.